So we're in the midst of a government shutdown, and the president of the United States says you can't have guns anymore. And ICE is just so cruel that even Stephen Miller, that fucking, like, the chief Nazi, Eric Goebbels up there, even he's backtracking a little bit and going, listen, maybe there was a breach of protocol here. And then, I mean, even his fucking wife is trying to run defense for him online. I saw Kyle talking about that on Twitter. That shit was hilarious. Oh yeah, also we're fucking invading Iran, and we're gonna bomb Iran again probably before I've been telling you this whole month that we're probably gonna bomb Iran before the end of January. And oh, thank you for that reminder. I've got to get that Trump Truth Social post up. You know what? Why, that's a good place to start. I figured today I had a whole bunch of stuff that I haven't looked at yet, and I thought that we would do it together. Some first reaction shit. But there's one thing that I do got to show you before we start. All right, listen to this. King Dolan posted this on Truth Social about 7 hours ago as of filming. It's 2:16 p.m. Eastern Standard on the 28th of January 2026 right now as of filming. Listen to this. A massive armada is headed to Iran. It is moving quickly with great power, enthusiasm, and purpose. It is a larger fleet headed by the great aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln. Than that sent to Venezuela. Like with Venezuela, it is ready, willing, and able to rapidly fulfill its mission with speed and violence if necessary. Hopefully, Iran will quickly come to the table and negotiate a fair and equitable deal. No nuclear weapons. One that is good for all parties. Time is running out. It is truly of the essence. As I told Iran once before, make a deal. They didn't. And there was Operation Midnight Hammer, a major destruction of Iran. The next attack will be far worse. Don't make that happen again. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. All right, so cocksucker, motherfucker, pedophile president. There's a couple of things that I want to talk about here. I think that the reason why he didn't bomb Iran like 2 weeks ago when like this whole like bullshit CIA Mossad propaganda shit about like tens of thousands of people dying in Iran, which even I fucking fell for at first. I do think the protests are real. I don't think the numbers are real where they're like 70, 80, 90,000 people are dead. Don't believe it. But he said he was going to bomb Iran. And then he didn't. And I think the reason is that this armada was not there yet, right? And that if we bombed Iran with our like B-2 bombers, their response immediately would be to Israel. And Israel needs our armada there to be shooting down the missiles like we were the last time they were exchanging rounds back and forth. You know what I'm talking about? Second thing I want to address here is no nuclear weapons. Brother, you have been bombing Iran for, you and Israel have been bombing Iran and fucking with them for decades. And they haven't had a nuclear weapon the entire time. And I've said this before, Hassan Piker has the nuclear doctrine, right? And he's correct. What nations do we not fuck with? China, North Korea, Russia, right? We might fuck with them economically, but we don't bomb them. Why? Because they have nuclear fucking weapons. So, what it seems like is the only way to prevent the Western world and Israel from bombing your shit is to have a nuclear weapon. So, what sort of deal do you think you're gonna make with these fucking people other than putting your boot in their fucking neck? And then also, I love how he's gone from Operation Midnight Hammer. He at first claimed it was a complete obliteration of their nuclear program, right? Now he's calling it a major destruction of Iran and saying that they need to make a deal to make no nuclear weapons. Brother, that wasn't very long ago. That was, when was that? Five months ago, something like that? Brother, that was not very long ago. So you definitely didn't fucking obliterate their nuclear program if you're saying that now you have to make a deal to make no nuclear. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's just such a fucking fat hypocrite. It's unbelievable. And then also, don't make that happen again. Or sorry, the next attack will be far worse. Don't make that happen again. Literally sounds like a husband coming home and going, don't make me fucking hit you, bitch. Don't you overcook that meatloaf, bitch. I don't want to hurt you. Don't make me do this. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking crazy, dude. All right, more. All right, here's Donald Trump telling you that you can't have guns. Oh.
Walk in with guns.
Hold on.
Guns. You can't walk in with guns. You just can't. You can't walk in with guns. You can't do that.
Your Second Amendment will always be safe with me as your president.
Second Amendment.
Luigi, go to bed.
Amendment is under siege. Our Constitution is being run through the shredder.
The only thing standing between you and the obliteration of your under siege Second Amendment is me. I'm the only thing. Anybody else?
you wouldn't have your guns right now.
You can't have guns. You can't walk in with guns. You just can't.
I'm a big advocate of the Second Amendment. I have been from the beginning. I've protected it.
We have to have a Second Amendment that's meaningful. If we don't, we're going to have levels of death and destruction like this country has never seen before.
Yo, NRA, where you at? Because, like, you guys have been very weak in your response to the right wing's literal dismantling of our Second Amendment rights. And it's crazy how, like, the don't tread on me crowd, I have to have my fucking AR-15 to protect me from a tyrannical government, or I've literally become the people actually saying, like, verbatim saying, you can't have guns. You can't bring a gun. And also the thing is, a lot of people have been saying you can't bring a gun to a protest. I would like to point out that Alex Preddy wasn't at a protest. That wasn't a fucking protest. He was filming ICE. There were protesters. He wasn't fucking one of them. So it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter.
You can't have guns. You can't walk.
By the way, if you're hearing Luigi bark in the background, I'm really sorry about that. She's just locked up in her fucking cage right now. She has to be. She was like, she got literally paralyzed on New Year's, and now she has to stay in her fucking cage for 6 weeks, and she's a little bit tired of it, but we'll figure it out.
In with guns. You just can't. You can't have guns. You can't walk in with guns. You just can't. You can't walk in with guns. You can't do that.
Your Second
He's such a fucking hypocritical piece of shit. All right, so now we have top White House aide and chief Nazi of the fucking regime, Stephen Miller, acknowledges possible breach of protocol before Alex Preddy's shooting. So I'm going to play this for a second while I go give Luigi a little fucking gabapentin.
Trump's top aides on immigration,
like
Stephen Miller,
stress,
is admitting tonight a possible breach of protocol by the officer who shot Alex Preddy, which is a pretty stunning thing to come out of this administration, especially given what they said initially. It comes as Republican Senator Tom Tillis, whom you just heard slamming Kristi Noem, has taken on Stephen Miller.
Stephen Miller is in the same boat. This guy, after doing the stupid comments he made about Greenland getting the president in a difficult circumstance, is one of the people that came out publicly and said that this guy was a terrorist before he had even talked with anybody on the ground, and that's clearly not the case now. So, I mean, it's just, I mean, Stephen Miller never fails to live up to my expectations of incompetence.
I mean, that's a pretty stunning thing to hear a Republican
I did hear him say that. So that's a Republican. And dude, that's the thing, is Stephen Miller is actually I do think that he's probably going to get thrown out of the regime, because the same way that Greg Bovino got demoted, like, I think that he is such a bad look for Trump that it's actually doing Trump a disservice to keep him in the cabinet.
Live up to my expectations for incompetence. Kristen Holmes broke this news about Miller. She joins us now from the White House. So, Kristen, what are you learning right now?
Yeah, Aaron, this is quite stunning coming from Stephen Miller, who, of course, has been one of the most hard-line immigration enforcers when it comes to President Trump's administration. He is essentially conceding or acknowledging that there might have been a breach of protocol when it comes to the shooting of Alex Preddy. And just a reminder, this is the same person who said that Preddy in the aftermath was a would-be assassin.
Literally, and then immediately labeled him as a domestic terrorist. And also the vice president of the United States fucking retweeted that.
This is what the statement says, and he lays this out very clearly. It says that the White House provided clear guidance to DHS that the extra personnel that had been sent to Minnesota to force protection should be used for conducting fugitive operations to create a physical barrier between the arrest teams and the disruptor teams. It goes on to say, we are evaluating why the CBP team may not have been following that protocol. So that's the first piece of news that we're learning here.
So now Stephen Miller is saying that that Border Patrol team didn't follow protocol. And I'd like to, again, point out the fact that we still don't know their names, that there's 8 fucking murderers embedded in ICE, which also, here's the thing, guys, because of the masks, you have to, if you're going to go protest ICE, you have to understand and consider every single one of them, any of them, could be one of those 8 murderers, okay? This is why I tell you, like, ICE is full of fucking murder rapists, white supremacists, Ku Klux Klan members. They could be any of them. They might have shifted them around states. They definitely are not on leave or anything like that. We don't know who they are. Any one of those masked fucks could be a murderer.
From Miller, the White House is looking into this and that they're acknowledging there might have been a breach of protocol. But there's more here. We had learned that Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem had been in constant touch with the White House leading up to her press conference, leading up to the first tweet that DHS put out about the shooting of Alex Preddy. She had been talking to Miller. She had been talking to a number of various officials. She had briefed them on how she was going to comport herself when she got up there. Here's what Miller said about that. said the initial statement from DHS was based on reports from CBP on the ground. The reason why that is notable is that
Customs and Border Patrol. Also, guys, by the way, Customs and Border Patrol is, I think, even more lunatic than ICE is. ICE is fucking cruel too, but what we've seen, I'm pretty sure the guy who killed Renee Good was also Customs and Border Patrol. I don't think that was ICE. I could be wrong, so don't hold me to that. But and I also remember reading about stories of Customs and Border Patrol like putting like barbed wire wrapped barrels in like the rivers where migrants were crossing on the southern border. This is in like 2014, right? So Customs and Border Patrol has always been fucking cruel.
Disputing that he gave talking points to Nome, that the White House was behind that, but instead they are saying that they got that information, that he got his information from reports on the ground from CBP.
Jonathan Ross is ICE, yeah, and then the other guys are Customs and Border Patrol.
Officials now saying they're evaluating if there was wrongdoing by those agents.
Oh, yeah, now it took you long enough, brother. It took you fucking long enough. It's not like the entire goddamn planet watched Alex Preddy be murdered. This is one of the women who filmed, like, up close. I'm pretty sure we watched some of her footage of her up close filming Alex Preddy being murdered. I'm frankly certain she was detained, but she did a little interview with Anderson Cooper, and I wanted to watch a little bit of that.
One of the things that's shocking about the number of shots is that the last 5 shots or so are actually from a distance where he appears already lying on the ground, not moving.
Yep.
Do you remember that? Again, this is happening in
I mean,
5 to
honestly,
10
Alex
seconds.
being shot is the most memorable part of it. The agents are not a part of that, I think, because I watched him die.
Yeah, and also the agents... Oh, couldn't pause it there. Yeah, also the agents are masked, so it's going to be very hard to, like, you know how like after a crime they immediately trying to get you in and they're like, could you draw the suspect, or not could you draw the suspect, could you describe the suspect, you know, and they get like a fucking sketch. Bro, they're wearing masks. It's going to be impossible for you to create a mental image of them because all you get to see is like the fucking slits of their eyes. You know, and also, I'd like to point out the hypocrisy of the fucking right-wingers who are always bitching and moaning about, like Sharia law and talking about the way that, like, well, the only thing that you can see on a woman is their eyes. And it's like, yeah, well, dude, the only fucking thing that we can see on the goddamn secret Gestapo police is their fucking eyes right now. I think that's a little bit more of a goddamn fucking threat.
I remember him arching his back and his head rolling back, and it was so fast moving, but not for me. Like, when they fled, which now I see, that after the shooting, they decided to just scatter.
Yup, dude, they just left him on the ground. Also, they left evidence there, dude. Like, the fucking civilians put together, like a bunch of trash cans in a circle around, like, his backpack and stuff because it's a fucking crime scene. It's evidence, right? And they just left. They just fucking left. It's insane. They just assimilated back into the crowd of mass Nazis, and now we don't know who's who. Who knows if they were moved across state lines? Who knows where they are? Who knows who they are?
Save themselves. Watching him die, and then after, you know, I've watched people die before in more of a calculated and planned way, like, you know, hospice in various ways. You know what that looks like, and I knew he was gone because I watched it. And then they come over to try to perform some type of medical aid.
You fucking put 10 shots in his vital organs. I'm sure if there even is an autopsy, if they let there be a fucking investigation on this, they're gonna be like, yeah, like, I don't know, maybe the 6th round or something hit his heart. He was dead on the fuck after that 6th shot, something like that, you know? A couple of shots in his lungs, couple in his liver. Like, you guys unloaded on him, and I understand cops are trained to unload the magazine and neutralize the threat, right? But the threat, quote unquote, which he wasn't even a threat to begin with, the threat was removed from his fucking waistband. You disarmed him. He's no longer a threat. Could you imagine, I don't know, go back to when you were a kid and we used to watch Cops. You know how fucked up that is to think about, but we used to watch Cops. Could you imagine seeing one of those fucking cop shows where a guy has a legally owned firearm and he's got his hands up, and one cop comes behind him and takes his fucking pistol, and then the other cop puts 10 shots in his chest? It's hard to fathom because, like, when you think about that, well, they have faces and they're cops, you know what I mean? And I fucking hate cops, don't get me started, but it's different. These are like masked Nazis, bro. These are masked Nazis. It's so much different.
By ripping his clothes open with scissors and then maneuvering his body around like a rag doll, only to discover that it could be because they wanted to count the bullet wounds to see how many they got, like he's a deer. I watched that, and that is what it felt like they were doing, and that is part of why I was like, what are you guys doing? Why would you jostle his body around like that? You're not even doing anything to help him. But I knew he was gone.
You knew he was gone then?
I knew he was gone.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's so fucked up. Oh, yeah, I saw this. I saw a little bit of this. So, like a rideshare driver, like an Uber driver or some shit, Somali American, he's been confronting ICE. Gotta look at this.
I can hear you don't have the same accent as me. That's why I'm
Oh, so you're going by accents now?
We just heard that agent saying, I can hear you don't have the same
Fucking
accent
pig.
as me. That's why I'm asking you, which I think is a pretty stunning thing to hear. I mean, then, so you're talking to them. You talk about the woman first, then there's him. And then, actually, Greg Bovino, right? The guy, the top guy at the time on the ground.
Yeah, used to be. Fucking bovine fascist has been demoted. By the way, his demotion does not mean that the ICE operations are stopping.
Of all of this shows up by your window, and you've shared some more of that exchange. Let me play it.
The big boss over here.
What's going on?
They're just harassing people based on skin color. Are we in Germany?
No, come on.
What do you guys want to do today? You guys want to take me in or something?
Oh, that depends. Are you an illegal alien?
Illegal alien, man. Our planet, yes. I might be from another planet.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
if that's the case, if you're from another planet, that counts too.
Well, if that counts, well, I'm an alien, guys. Let's do DNA tests and shit. You got a lab? We can run some blood tests, see what the hell I have. You guys shooting at people, man. Somebody just got shot for what? Why did you guys shoot that lady? Answer me that. There's an officer today that shot a lady in the head, dude.
Really?
For what?
I don't know why they do the head, man. Huh.
You got.
Oh my God, is this before he even knew about Renee Good? This is before he even knew about Renee. What a fucking dumbass. And yo, the guy filming this, the Somali guy, is brave as shit for doing this.
All these stuff, you could have just got her, man. She's not gonna like fly out of the country.
Like an alien.
Like an alien with a spaceship.
What the fuck? Dude, he's so awkward. I don't think he's ever had social interactions before that are like outside of having a gun on his fucking hip.
The spaceship.
Yeah.
So obviously you sound confident there, Ahmed, but I can only imagine.
Oh, there he is, Ahmed.
Obviously this is hours after Renee is shot and killed, and you're sitting there feeling that guys already told you that because of your accent you have to prove you're an American. Greg Bovino walks up. Yeah, did you feel scared a bit that things could go wrong?
I would have. We're talking about...
I mean, it was very obvious.
It's like Heinrich Himmler walking up to you and you're Jewish.
To me, by the way Border Patrol was acting with me unprofessionally, that they really didn't care about my identity. There's something else other than what was obvious that was going on.
Oh, can I guess? Allow me to guess why they targeted you, Ahmed. A couple of things. Your name is Ahmed. You're Somali. You have an accent. And you are brown-skinned. That, my friend, and also maybe you're not Christian. I have no idea there. Those 5 things, in the eyes of these ICE Nazi Gestapo fucks, quite literally, in their eyes, they don't deem you as a human, which is very ironic considering the alien from another planet conversation. They're okay with that conflation. It's very intentional, okay? They do not consider you to be a fucking human being, homie.
So when he said, you know what? I know you're not an American citizen, and I demand that you show me proof of that.
See how he was taking his picture there? We already know, we covered this recently, that ICE now has their own private database, and they are taking pictures of everybody who protests them and everybody who films them and putting them into that database. That database is the NSPM 7 designation list, right? Which means that you are considered a domestic terrorist in the eyes of ICE. Now, this goes into my later video that'll be coming out tonight, probably around like 7 o'clock p.m. A recent Indiana bill, they are bringing back gas chambers. That's not a joke. I have fucking proof of this. It's fucking hideous as one. Gas chambers and firing squads, and we're talking about in the prisons. Like, they're going to be executing prisoners, and this is... You know exactly what's going on here. This is they're making death camps, concentration camps, American Auschwitz. It's so fucked up. So we're going to get into that in tonight's video.
American citizenship verification, documents, whatever. I need that. What's making me ask you this stuff is you do not sound like me. You don't have the same, and then he pointed to his face, you don't have the same accent as me. So I was shocked, I was startled, and I said, we're using accents now to verify citizenship? Are we using, it was just absurd to hear that, you know, for the first time in my life. I'm like, accents? Wow, there's so many different accents in America, right? There's the Spanish accent, there's the Italian accent, there's the Boston accent, there's the Texas accent, there's the Arkansas accent, which I'm not a big fan of. But then again, this guy chose to say, you got to sound like me to be a U.S. citizen. So I was like, hey, I'm not going to partake in this nonsense. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the same energy he's using towards me on him. What do you mean if I'm from this country?
I can hear you don't have the same accent.
Unfucking believable, these Nazi pigs. Oh, Tim Waltz went on Pod Save America. All right, listen. I don't despise Tim Waltz, but Timmy Two Tits, you've been acting like a real baby back bitch as of late. Now, I have not seen this. And I hope to God you stand up to the fucking cocksucking pedophile who is invading your city with a private masked Gestapo that is executing civilians. I haven't seen this yet. You motherfucking better, Timmy. Come on.
With Tom Homan today. Did Tom Homan acknowledge the ways in which there had been...
Yeah, so Tim Waltz had a meeting with the border czar, Tom Homan, that fat thumb-looking motherfucker who sounds like he's chewing on marbles, that cocksucker.
Overreach, the ways in which their tactics and their tenor has been counterproductive.
He said it's not the way to do it. I think that was his words. He said, this is not the way to do this. And I think what he acknowledged is, and look, I don't agree with Tom Homan's philosophy on things, but I do understand that he is law enforcement, and he understands right from wrong, and he knows. I mean, no matter how much they were trying to gaslight us, the layman on the street said, I don't really think it's good policing to run around and throw canisters and kick people down and things. That's probably not a good idea. He acknowledged that and said something has to change. And then I think what he acknowledged, what we've been saying all along, is they're spreading lies about this. I said, Tom, you got the president believing that you have 14,000 people you had here. And he goes, what? I said, yeah, you didn't arrest 14,000 people. His people are kind of like stammering along and stuff. And he at least acknowledged, look, we got to deal with real numbers. And I said, you said we have 1,400 people in our prisons that are here undocumented. We have 8,000 total people in our prisons. 207 are serving sentences, and they should serve their Minnesota sentences. And what we do is we give them over to you. So talking to him, at least he was grounded in the reality of what the numbers look like. And I just asked him, I said, what's your mission here, Tom? What are you trying to do? We're trying to get folks who shouldn't be in this country and who are dangerous to us out. And, you know, my response would be is, well, you could probably give me the names of the people who shot my two constituents, because those are two people that are dead. So it was a little more grounded in reality. It was an acknowledgement that the situation is not what they want.
He's saying nothing, right? Like, he's saying nothing. Like, he's made no progress. It seems like ICE is not going to withdraw at all. He's saying nothing. Oh, that Timmy, you fucking pussy ass bitch. Oh my God, Timmy.
I have to say it was, you know, it was somewhat of a glimmer of hope that at least it felt like we were dealing on the same reality.
You're out there looking for a glimmer of hope? You're the fucking governor. Brother, you are, oh my God, I'll just take a crumb, Mr. Homan, please. You don't have to withdraw ICE, but could you make me a pinky promise that you're gonna change your tactics a little bit? Fucking, dude, tell him, here's what you do, Timmy. You tell Tom Homan, you go, listen, Tom, you fat fuck. If you don't pull out ICE by the end of this month, and I mean every single one of your fucking agents, I'm gonna deploy the National Guard, and they will hold the fucking line protecting the protesters. If you throw a single tear gas canister, if you open fire on a single one of our fucking citizens, my National Guard units will rock your shit, son. All right? Now, if you want to do that immigration customs enforcement, which is not what you're fucking doing, but if you want to fucking do that, maybe you pull back, you take your fucking fat Proud Boys back to fucking DC, you regroup, you get rid of 95 fucking % of them, and you go back to what ICE used to fucking be, which is just border patrol. Like we're not talking about rounding up people going door to fucking door. In reality, what you should be doing is abolishing ICE entirely. You should be abolishing ICE entirely. The fucking system is completely rooted in slave catching techniques. So maybe you get rid of it entirely. We rewrite the fucking immigration laws. We make it a lot fucking easier to people coming here. Like, there is so much shit that you could be doing other than begging for a fucking crumb. Sorry. Jesus Christ.
The other side of that, and I hear that, and of course you don't want to be dealing with federal leadership that is calling people domestic terrorists and assassins and slamming local.
Calling me
someone who wants this to happen.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it wouldn't be a success to have a more professional version of execution of this current policy.
It would not.
And Tom Homan may be on the scale of reasonable, slightly more reasonable than a Bavina.
Oh my God.
But you still have undertrained, poorly prepared.
Yeah, that Overton window shifted a lot to what we consider to be okay.
Exactly. And so in some ways, Noam being such a buffoon and Miller being out there saying these things only heightened the importance of this issue for people. The policy of mass deportations remains.
Yes.
So if he's saying he wants to get the worst of the worst out, but the White House is setting a goal of 1 million deportations,
that's right.
The math doesn't work. So you met with...
I'm not watching another fucking clip of that piece of shit. All right. Also, I just want to show you one thing here. If you didn't know, Ilhan Omar was attacked recently. Let me see if I can get the clip up here. She was attacked at her town hall. Some like fat fucking psycho ran up to her with a syringe full of some unknown liquid. Ilhan Omar attacked. And sprayed her with it. We don't know what the fuck it was, but here, check this out.
Must resign or face impeachment.
Now, she's okay. She's okay. It wasn't like acid or anything, but she did square up to the motherfucker. Isn't there another angle of this? Yeah, there's another angle here.
Of the agency. Of the economies for good. And DHS resign. Noam must
Here it is.
resign or face impeachment.
Dude, look at how she fucking squared up. She was about to knock his shit out, dude. She was about to knock his fucking shit out.
Face impeachment.
All right, so what I wanted to show you from that was the reaction from Newsmax, bro. Newsmax is actually fucking insane, but I want you to see this, and then I think I have one more Newsmax clip. Do I still have it? Queued up somewhere here. Yeah, okay, I want to show you 2 Newsmax clips before I cut it here, because we're getting close to 30 minutes. Check this out. Here's Newsmax's response to that Ilhan clip.
I just got a notice from Ilhan Omar, who just posted actually a short time ago, saying that she's a survivor and not going to let this agitator interrupt her, and she'll continue doing her work. So it's unknown what that substance is, but apparently she is okay tonight. Craig?
Dude, why do you look so disappointed that she's okay? Like, why do you look so disappointed? Who said it was staged? It was up on that tweet.
Well, we're glad about that. Let's not overdo it there. Ilhan Omar, she's a survivor. It looked to me like silly string, which we used to play with back in the day. Well, Joe Moeller, we appreciate it.
Yo, nah, that's cancer, dude. That is cancer in a television show. And like, dude, Newsmax is like what, like your fucking elderly motherfuckers are watching that. Like, silly string? Silly string. Yo, I don't know what to tell you other than like the state of the right wing is absolutely fucked. Listen, but the thing is, I can feel the tide shifting. Can you feel it too? Can you feel that like I think of Americans in 3 different categories, at least like growing up in the early 2000s, right? Where the Iraq war and Afghanistan and all that shit, where it was sort of like, there were those who, and I was a child, so don't expect much from me, but there were those who knew what was going on was all a lie, you know? Like, we were there for the oil. There were those who were very confused because propaganda was good. And then there were those who were completely spoon feeding the propaganda. They're like, yeah, no, freedom of democracy, bro. Like, we got to go get Bin Laden, right? That middle group of the confused, excuse me, my GERD is going off here. Excuse me. That middle group of the confused because of how effective the propaganda was, you don't have a leg to stand on anymore. Now, with like the constant filming and like your people getting executed in the streets and Trump posting on Truth Social, like now you can't use it as an excuse to be like, oh, I'm just like, I just go with the flow. I'm apolitical, whatever. No, like it's over now. Like every day we're seeing motherfuckers being murdered and we're invading Greenland and we're invading Iran and we're bombing Venezuela and we're kidnapping world leaders and we're threatening to invade Canada. Like, it's over now. You cannot stay silent anymore because complacency is fucking compliance, bro. You might as well be a collaborator. Anyway, listen, if you're here live, stay. We have more shit to cover. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, thank you very much. And there should be another video coming out at 7 o'clock. Do me a favor, click that video right over there. It's a banger, and I know bangers. Send me all your money.